Welcome back for another exciting Python video. In this example, we do miles per hour converted to kilometers per hour. I've been very fortunate to have worked and lived overseas and have been able to drive on the German Autobahn, which is very enjoyable, and I highly recommend it to anyone who can do it. One of the things, though, is when you go to another country is they do their speeds in kilometers per hour, and we here in the United States are used to miles per hour. So we're going to write a quick program that will demonstrate loops, but also show you miles per hour and their equivalent kilometers per hour. So we're going to start here at the top. What is this thing called? Do you remember? If you said a named constant, you are correct. It's a value that does not change throughout the program. And do you remember the rules for naming named constants? That they should be all in uppercase except for the data type notation prefix. So here we go using a for loop. So we put up to the screen, new line, so we get two new lines, miles per hour to kilometers per hour using a for. We write the for, and we declare a variable or state a variable that will contain each value one time each through the loop. In range, so notice this loop's a little different. We're starting at 5, and we end at 151, which really means we stop at 150, and we increment by 5s. How many times will this loop execute? If you said 30, you are absolutely, positively correct. So notice we take the speed. So the first time through, 5 goes into here. We take the speed, divide it by the conversion factor, which is this, and we get an equivalent kilometer meters speed. So we print out to the screen the miles per hour, the tab, and we format the kilometers speed to 0 decimal points. And we go through the loop, so we go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, up to 150, and then we stop. Now let's compare and contrast it to the while. So notice I put out the screen miles per hour to kilometers per hour using a while. Remember up here with the for, you give it the start, the ending, which is not inclusive in the increment. If it's other than 1, you specify it. So down here, notice I have to set its value. So what the loop the for loop does up here, I must do by setting it to 5. And we have a while. While I speed is less than or equal to 150, we do exactly the same thing. These two lines are exactly the same. And notice we increment 5 to speed. So we start at 5, then we go to 10, then we go to 15, always checking to make sure it's less than 150. Let's run our code, and look how beautiful it is. Let's go look at the for. Notice it starts at 5, and it increments by 5s, all the way up to, but not including 151. So for example, if I was driving 65 miles per hour, the equivalent is 105 kilometers per hour. Let's look at the while. Notice I have to give it its initial starting value and its ending value, and I have to write the code to increment. The for, I give it the start, the end, and the increment in between. So which one do you prefer? Some people would do the for, because you clearly define the start, the end, and the increment. In Python, we'll do a lot of it for you. Down here, I must set the beginning, I check for the end, and I have to do the incrementation.